When installing polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit in a trench, it's important to adhere to relevant electrical codes and best practices. The question concerns placing a 2.5-inch polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit and a 1-inch polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit at the bottom of a trench and covering them with 18 inches of dirt. The National Electrical Code, commonly referred to as the NEC, provides guidelines for burying electrical conduits. These guidelines ensure the safe operation and longevity of the electrical system. Let's delve into the key considerations for this type of installation. Firstly, understanding the National Electrical Code requirements is paramount. The NEC specifies minimum burial depths for different types of conduits and applications. For example, direct burial cables typically require a greater burial depth than conduits encased in concrete. When installing polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit, consult Table 300.5 in the National Electrical Code. This table provides minimum cover requirements for various wiring methods and voltages. Secondly, the depth of the trench is crucial for protecting the conduits from physical damage. The 18-inch cover mentioned in the question refers to the distance from the top of the conduit to the surface of the ground. This depth helps to prevent damage from digging, vehicular traffic, or other external forces. It's important to note that the NEC specifies different minimum cover depths depending on the voltage of the circuit and the location of the installation. For instance, circuits operating at higher voltages typically require greater burial depths. Thirdly, when placing multiple conduits in the same trench, proper spacing is essential. While the NEC doesn't usually specify a minimum horizontal spacing between conduits, it's good practice to provide adequate separation to facilitate future maintenance or repairs. Sufficient spacing also helps to prevent thermal buildup, which can reduce the current carrying capacity of the conductors inside the conduits. As a general guideline, consider leaving at least a few inches of space between the conduits. This allows for easier access and prevents the conduits from rubbing against each other, which could damage the insulation. Fourthly, the type of soil in the trench can also affect the installation. Rocky or abrasive soils can damage the conduits, especially during backfilling. In such cases, it's advisable to provide a layer of sand or other suitable bedding material beneath and around the conduits. This provides a protective cushion and helps to prevent damage from sharp objects. Fifthly, proper backfilling is crucial for ensuring the long-term integrity of the installation. Use clean, well-compacted fill material to backfill the trench. Avoid using large rocks, debris, or other materials that could damage the conduits. Compact the fill material in layers to prevent settling, which could create stress on the conduits. Sixthly, consider the type of load that will be running through the conduits. The current carrying capacity of the conductors must be appropriate for the load, and the conduits must be sized accordingly. Overloading the conductors can cause them to overheat, which can damage the insulation and potentially lead to a fire. Seventhly, make sure the polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit is suitable for underground use. Polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit is a common choice for underground electrical installations because it is resistant to corrosion and moisture. However, it's important to ensure that the conduit is properly sealed and protected from physical damage. Use appropriate fittings and connectors to ensure a watertight seal. Eighthly, consider the environmental conditions in the area. In areas with extreme temperatures, it's important to use conduits and conductors that are rated for those conditions. Extreme temperatures can affect the performance and lifespan of electrical components. Ninthly, always obtain the necessary permits and approvals before starting any electrical work. Local building codes may have specific requirements for underground electrical installations. Contact your local building department to determine the permit requirements in your area. Tenthly, safety is paramount when working with electricity. Always energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician. When determining whether 18 inches of cover is sufficient, refer to the NEC Table 300.5. This table specifies the minimum cover requirements for various wiring methods and voltages. For residential branch circuits rated at 120 volts or 240 volts, a minimum cover of 12 inches is typically required for polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit under sidewalks or driveways. However, if the conduits are located in an area subject to heavy vehicular traffic, a greater burial depth may be required. For other locations, such as under buildings or concrete slabs, the minimum cover depth may be reduced. It's important to consult the NEC and local building codes to determine the specific requirements for your installation. In the specific case mentioned in the question, placing a 2.5-inch polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit and a 1-inch polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit at the bottom of a trench and covering them with 18 inches of dirt, the answer is generally yes, provided that the installation meets all other applicable requirements of the NEC and local building codes. The 18-inch cover is typically sufficient for residential branch circuits. However, it's always best to consult the NEC and local building codes to confirm the specific requirements for your installation. In addition to the minimum cover requirements, it's also important to consider the physical protection of the conduits. Polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit is relatively durable, but it can still be damaged by sharp objects or heavy loads. If the conduits are located in an area where they are likely to be subjected to physical damage, it may be necessary to provide additional protection, such as encasing the conduits in concrete. Another important consideration is the type of soil in the trench. Rocky or abrasive soils can damage the conduits, especially during backfilling. In such cases, it's advisable to provide a layer of sand or other suitable bedding material beneath and around the conduits. This provides a protective cushion and helps to prevent damage from sharp objects. Proper backfilling is also crucial for ensuring the long-term integrity of the installation. Use clean, well-compacted film material to backfill the trench. Avoid using large rocks, debris, or other materials that could damage the conduits. Compact the fill material in layers to prevent settling, which could create stress on the conduits. Furthermore, it's also important to consider the thermal expansion and contraction of the conduits. Polyvinyl chloride conduit expands and contracts with temperature changes. If the conduits are installed in a long run, it may be necessary to provide expansion joints to accommodate this movement. Expansion joints are designed to allow the conduit to expand and contract without putting stress on the connections or supports. Finally, it's always a good idea to document the location of the underground conduits. This can be done by creating a site plan or by taking photographs of the installation before backfilling the trench. This documentation can be helpful in the future if you need to locate the conduits for maintenance or repairs. In summary, when installing polyvinyl chloride, Schedule 40, conduit in a trench, it's important to adhere to the NEC local building codes and best practices. Consider the minimum cover requirements, physical protection, soil conditions, thermal expansion and contraction, and documentation. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe and reliable electrical installation. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Remember to energize all circuits before starting any electrical work. When planning your polyvinyl chloride conduit installation, keep a few additional points in mind. Consider the future needs of the electrical system. If you anticipate adding more circuits in the future, it may be wise to install a larger conduit or multiple conduits to accommodate the additional wiring. This can save time and money in the long run. Also, think about the layout of the conduits. Plan the route carefully to minimize bends and avoid obstacles. Bends in the conduit can increase the pulling tension on the conductors, making it more difficult to install the wiring. If bends are necessary, use gradual sweeps rather than sharp angles. Furthermore, be sure to properly support the conduits. Use appropriate hangers and supports to keep the conduits securely in place. This will prevent the conduits from sagging or moving, which could damage the wiring or create a safety hazard. When pulling the conductors through the conduits, use a pulling lubricant to reduce friction. This will make it easier to pull the wires and prevent damage to the insulation. Be careful not to overpull the wires, as this could damage the conductors. Finally, after the installation is complete, thoroughly inspect the conduits and wiring to ensure that everything is properly installed and connected. Test the circuits to verify that they are working correctly. Address any issues promptly to prevent problems in the future. By paying attention to these details, you can ensure a successful and long-lasting polyvinyl chloride conduit installation. And remember, safety is always the top priority. If you are not comfortable performing any of these tasks, hire a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge and experience to ensure that the electrical work is done safely and correctly. In addition to the above considerations, it's also important to be aware of the potential hazards associated with underground electrical installations. One of the most common hazards is digging into buried utilities. Before you start digging, always call your local one-call center to have the utilities located and marked. This will help you to avoid damaging underground pipes, cables, and other utilities. Another potential hazard is electrocution. Always energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Be aware of the potential for stray voltage in the ground. This can occur if there is a fault in the electrical system. If you suspect that there is stray voltage in the ground, contact a qualified electrician immediately. Finally, be aware of the potential for hazardous materials in the soil. Some soils may contain contaminants such as lead or asbestos. If you suspect that the soil is contaminated, contact your local environmental agency for guidance. By being aware of these potential hazards and taking appropriate precautions, you can help to ensure a safe and successful underground electrical installation. Always follow all applicable safety regulations and best practices. If you have any questions or concerns, consult with a qualified electrician or other expert. They can provide you with the information and guidance you need to complete the project safely and correctly. So, to reiterate, given the scenario of placing 2.5-inch and 1-inch polyvinyl chloride Schedule 40 conduits in a trench and covering them with 18 inches of soil in Maryland, the answer leans towards yes, it is generally acceptable. But always confirm with local codes and specific project requirements.